Hello and welcome to Writing Tips. So I'm probably going to be redoing all my old Writing Tips videos because I had a lot less confidence back then posting myself online. That was the main problem, but now I have more confidence and everything, so let's just jump right into this. So this video was recommended, it was really requested by a fan of mine, and it's how to write parallel universes. Now, I've written a few drafts that involve parallel universes, so I have I have a decent amount of experiences. So I find when writing the parallel universe is that there's two ways you can write it. There's a bunch of different ways you can write it, scratch that. But one of the things that I like to think of is that you can write it so the universes are very similar or they're very different. For instance, on one end of one in the original universe, all the people are good guys. Second universe, everybody's bad guys, except the good guys are bad guys are good. So that's one way you can write it. But anyway, going more into depth to the thing, is that when writing it, you have to remember that somebody's life is decided by tiny changes and small decisions. So when writing alternates, the person who is the alternate of the original doesn't always have to be completely different. And if he is completely different, it doesn't always have to be for a big reason. For instance, taking Spider-Man as an example, Spider-Man would never have become Spider-Man unless Uncle Ben had died. So if we take out Uncle Ben dying in one universe, then he never became Spider-Man in that universe. So that's just an example, is that not all of the changes have to be huge to have such a big impact on this alternate's life. And now another thing is that when writing universes, the different universes can be hard. So what I recommend is that when writing the timeline or writing out, when you want to have them on two separate pages, and sometimes that might be a little difficult, so I would actually recommend is keeping two separate notebooks, one for one universe and the other for the other universe, and keep track of it. Name the original name it like something like Universe 1, and then the other dimension is like Universe X. Obviously, they don't have to be called that in your story, but that's just something, is that keep them separate. Like, make sure that you don't get mixed up and the characters don't get mixed together. Also, it is a good idea if you want to, now you don't have to do this, I actually don't do this, but it is a good idea for other people who are more visual, is to when your character sheets, have your original character, their character sheet out, and have the alternate, have their character sheet written out, and have all the differences written down. Also, when writing the timeline in your two separate notebooks, you want to include how the person diverges. Now this can be said on the character sheet or in the timeline, when the opposites diverge from the original, and how that changes. Now all this is said and good, and I hope I did help you, but now another thing I'm going to be incorporating into these things is homework. Now homework is just just a bunch of examples that maybe will help you on your writing journey and help you understand what I'm saying. So homework, I would recommend reading The Ascension by Michael Carroll, which is actually the sequel to a book called Superhumans. It is a superhero book, but the sequel involves alternate dimensions and parallel universes, and I recommend it because it's very well done in the way the universe is written. Now, if you don't want to read, if you don't want to read because you don't have a lot of time on your hands, or you just want to write, then I understand. Then I would recommend watching either the movies Flashpoint Paradox or Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. Now, these movies are great, and the reason that I'm recommending superhero movies is because I'm just going to be honest, is that superhero movies have, honestly, the best types of alternate universes, because I find that they are written extremely well. Another thing before I go is that when you're writing a alternate universe, remember that some of the characters, even though something has been changed in their past, they might stay the same. So for instance, if you have a person that is this way in this dimension. In the other dimension, they might just be a tiny bit different. They might not be a whole bit different. Now, I hope this video helps you today, and I hope you have a very nice day, and stay awesome.